Hi, and welcome to the Business Spotlight series. I'm Martin Bailey, and joining us today is Mark Robinson, owner of WPM Limited. Welcome,
Hi,
Mark. Welcome.
hi Martin. Thank you for inviting me.
It's my pleasure. And thank you for taking time out to join me today. How are you anyway?
I'm very well. And yourself?
Yeah, absolutely delighted. I'm just back from holiday, so it couldn't be better. Couldn't be better. So,
Oh, yes.
why do we start this off? Why don't you tell me a bit about who you are and what you do?
Okay, so you've introduced me. I'm Mark Robinson. I run WPM. It's a business I started back in 1999. I would love to tell you I was only 4 years old when I started, but I wasn't. It just got in my 30s. And I started the business. I was actually running a filling station in North London on the North Circular. And I was bored. Those people annoyingly likes to be busy. And I see an advert, start a cleaning company. And I started it alongside an existing business that I ran
Right. Okay.
and took it from there.
So you're bored, sat in there, they just thought, I'm going to go and start a cleaning business or buy a cleaning business.
Yeah, and for the first couple of years, I ran it alongside the filling station. That was quite a tough. I got to the stage with that where I felt I was more a policeman with the criminality you had to deal with in the location I was in. I was just off Tottenham.
Yep.
Not suggesting Tottenham's a bad area,
Not so.
but drive-offs, crime, credit card crime, etc. But more like the policeman and the retailer. And I come away from running the filling station to concentrate solely on the cleaning business.
Right.
I've been working on that ever since.
Okay. Okay. So how many years was it before you then went solely onto cleaning business?
I think about three.
About three. Okay.
And that was an interesting period of time actually because full-time job, young family, and trying to run a business which is labour intensive alongside a demanding job was probably my first significant challenge in growing the business, which I managed to overcome that first hurdle.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So look, here's a question for you. So 1999, if you were to transport yourself back to 1999, what would you do differently?
I've planned more.
Okay. Tell me more
I
about
planned more. So I had an idea of how I was going to get from A to B and grow the business. And I've never been frightened with logistics. I quite like the challenge of being organised. I plan more, and what's developed over the years is I've almost made myself not an integral part of the business. I could take the overall view of the business. So, sure you've heard the phrase "work on the business, not within the business."
it? Yeah.
And there are only two key areas within the business that I directly get involved with. One's payroll, so it's my biggest outgoing. The other one is I keep an eye on the invoice, money in. So if you haven't got a tight control on the finance, you haven't got a tight control on the business, have you? So you need to know your numbers.
Yep. Yep. No, absolutely. So it's interesting. You said, the challenge of being organized. So why do you see being organized as a challenge?
Um, so as a business, we provide services across the 60-mile radius. I'm based, my office is in Bedford, cover a 60-mile radius, so we're into Lincolnshire, Essex, Suffolk, Norfolk, and Cambridge. And we provide to clients like schools, food factories. So it's quite a diverse mix. The staff are all based locally. So logistically, when you're dealing with staff that have holidays, etc., you have to cover so you want continuity of service for your clients. That could be a challenge. And interesting enough, the bigger the business is currently employ just shy of 50 employees, I found that becomes an easier task. More staff I've got. In the early days when I started, it's just myself. My wife worked with me for a time. Apparently I'm horrible to work with. She now works for the Ministry of Defence, who are much nicer than me, apparently. I
I'm sure you're lovely to
and
work for. I'm sure you're lovely, Mark.
Oh, it will be. But interesting enough, just you can either work with your partner or you can't. And I'm pretty sure I was pretty demanding, so fair play. I, it was more of a challenge if you had a sudden illness to get cover because you were the backup.
Yeah.
As long as you was every. A lot of people don't realise you start a business, whether you're on your own or with a small team. And also, you have to learn about marketing, payroll, HR. You wear so many hats,
Mm-hmm.
and as a layperson, you become an expert in areas you never thought you would. And all of a sudden, you're not concentrating on the very reason you went into business. So, and then you're providing cover, as I did in the early days. So I have found the more staff, more options I've got to provide cover because delivering to clients is paramount. You want to deliver a service. They want to know they've got an honest to be part. So yeah.
Because you touched on company, so that kind of explains the challenge of being organised. But you talked about invoicing and the two parts of business: payroll being your biggest outgoing, invoicing being your biggest incoming.
Yeah.
What is it about invoicing you think is so important? I mean, obviously you need to get sales in, but is that because of cash flow? Is that where you're focused?
I think cash flow. I think you also need to you manage your client relations. I'm fortunate that I do have a good relationship with all my clients. I've been in that position where clients have been late payers, and I have a process for that. You I think as a business owner, you commit to certain things. You want your staff to respect you, want them to get paid on time. Mine's a labour intensive. So making sure you can meet your bills, suppliers, etc., and be credible. I don't think there's any aspect within the business that's not intertwined. So looking after the invoice is just one part of it. Needs professional service with your clients and with your employees actually. And with your employees approachable.
Right. Okay. Because I mean,
I'm not sure I've answered your question there, but sorry.
It kind of does. I mean, the big thing around cash flow for your business service business is going to be around cash gap, isn't it? So
yes,
9 times out of 10, you'll have paid for the people to have done the work before you get paid yourself. So
absolutely,
it's the gap between those two things happening is what either is detriment to your cash flow or positive to your cash flow, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how do you focus on managing that cash gap in your business?
Well, fortunately I've spread. So I have some clients. Every client gets treated the same, whether they're getting a service like 5-6 hours a week, or one client we're delivering a service 310 hours. So there's each client gets treated the same. I have a really good part-time account admin, manages invoicing. Within the business, I've only got one slow payer.
Yeah.
And it's not because the finances is not there. Because I don't prioritise it and they need a nudge. Yeah. And I've got a sufficient relationship. When I catch up with a client, I can say, you do need that invoice. An informal coffee conversation. So alongside that, the account admin is running standard procedures. I want to take that experience. I think as a business owner, whether it's marketing, or accounting, or payroll, the analogy I use is like being an archer. You take the best arrow out of the quiver to hit the target.
Yeah.
And that's the way I tend to approach things. No two clients are the same, so there's nuances to every relationship.
Yeah. So you manage the cash gap by through the relationship you develop and being able to say,
absolutely.
hey, look, you're 7 days late here on your invoice. I really, need you to sort this out for us. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not saying we don't get caught. I mean, unfortunately, we're in a difficult economic climate, and I've been regardless of the relation. I think actually, if I could give any advice to a fellow business, you need to concentrate on your finance. I've been caught twice this year, and obviously, I won't be discreet on the name of the company. A particular well-known company went under until their staff. The afternoon they went under, and there was no income.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were fortunate. We lost the month's invoice, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
Because I understand for people that were managing their finances and they got stung.
For a lot of money. Yeah.
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 Yeah. But it's the trials and tribulations.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean, you made the statement of you really need to know your numbers and be on top of your numbers and be on top of your finances, and I think you're absolutely right, because that's the starting point for a lot of your decisions.
Absolutely.
It's
It underpins everything.
It's based on those numbers. It's not based on your gut. It's not based on your heart. It's not based on your head. It's based on what the facts are that are in front of you, and the only thing that can be facts are the numbers. The numbers are facts. So.
Very well.
So how do you? So I mean, how obviously about payroll, but so what would you put the growth of your business down to? What attributes would you say have attributed you growing as much as you have?
So I regularly look at the business, and interesting enough, this week alone, I've been updating my organisation chart to where I want it to be 12 months' time.
Yeah.
Not where it is now, where I want it to be 12 months' time. I'm very fortunate that I've got a small team that works with me. So I've got a very good manager, HR admin, accounts admin. General admin is done by my daughter. So small team that work with me. And interesting enough, they challenge me as well, which I quite like in a productive, constructive way. They challenge me. I had a meeting with two of the team last week, and we was talking about their development plans. So they enable me to work on business. I'm just a vacancy's come up within the business. Someone's moved on to a position for procurement manager. So I've got somebody who will manage that side of things for me as well. That person's just left for, to move on to a full-time position. So somebody working on the fund,
Yep.
all the time, and we're looking at ways we're always looking to innovate.
Okay.
Interesting enough, for a low-tech industry, cleaning is, but it's becoming more tech. We as a business have been paper free 5 years.
Okay.
Nice. Everything's staff logging in out by apps. Our audits are done, on site and emails to the client within, hours, so the clients see that real time.
Yeah.
We use that to maintain standards because we're looking for time.
But just sit a bit closer to your camera, Mark. I kind of
Sorry, I've started mumbling, didn't I? Yeah, sorry.
A little bit a couple of times there. So in terms of you, so you've gone digital across the business, paperless. Your email audits are being emailed out as soon as they're completed to the client, etc. Is that whole process automated, or is it still quite manual?
No, it's automated.
Okay.
It's automated. So I'm a great believer in systems and uniform practice.
Yep.
Manager goes regularly out on site visits, and another key member of the team is young Harry, who goes out and does evening visits when the cleaning working. So they get that day-to-day contact. Often, most of them work alongside people, but I have got some lone workers, and carries it back so that they see someone who can pick up any concerns, monitor standards.
Yeah.
So we're covering the client, we're covering our staff, and working with.
So is that those systems in place to give you consistency then?
Oh, absolutely. The other thing I put into the business is I've got a chap working for me, and he no longer can work. He's got a lot of built up knowledge of the industry, and he no longer works to a change in his personal circumstances. So he now, up to 8 o'clock Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. is the out of hours contact.
Right. Okay.
So David's his name. He's a lovely guy, and he said to me, "I feel like I'm earning money for nothing because he's only had 2 calls in 2 years." But that's fine. That means everyone knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it gives me, as the business owner, comfort. The last time we was called, client had a flood. Their print equipment was in 2 foot water.
Yeah.
So we made them aware there was a major issue. Obviously, the cleaner couldn't carry out their service that night. And David was the point of contact. And that was just comfort for the staff, knowing they've got somebody to contact. And it's a comfort for the client, knowing if there's an issue, they will be contacted by our out of our service. Most of them, I think, all the staff is by 8 o'clock. Anyway, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you talk a lot. You've been talking a lot about your team and staff. So I suppose the final question for me is, what's been your biggest learnings over the years as an employer then, since you began the business?
So can you repeat the question, Ryan?
So over the years, what's been your biggest learnings as an employer since you started your business?
So it's a really interesting one. I was challenged in a meeting by a member of the team, a supervisor. And I've gone from, when I grew the business, it was me and I made all the decisions. And I always knew if I wanted to take it to a level, I needed to put structure. What I struggled with was actually letting go, delegating. And I was sat in a restaurant, a cafe, sorry, with the supervisor and HR. And HR kind of said, "You need to listen, Mark." So I sat there dutifully, and Liz was the supervisor, and she said, "You need to delegate something. You need to give me more freedom to make decisions." And I went away and thought that, and I thought, yes, you're right, actually, because I can't oversee every decision that staff make. And the rule of thumb, whenever I've got somebody in a key position, say to them, "You will make mistakes. I will make mistakes, but as the business owner, I can cover my mistakes." If I choose to show them, it's a different thing. If you're making a mistake and it's done though, because you're trying to achieve a positive outcome, I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm relaxed about it. We're all human, and they're trying to do the right thing. A lot beyond that. So I think that's been my biggest challenge, making that switch from somebody who didn't delegate to somebody now who's I'm very comfortable giving tools to their own.
Yeah, but I suppose if you hadn't learned to delegate, your business would never have been able to grow.
Yeah,
people with you.
I'll be rocking back and forward in my chair.
You would be have a very, very, very strong nervous twitch right now, wouldn't you? You'd be like twitching. But that learning to delegate and allow people to grow with the business is absolutely essential for the business to grow.
Absolutely.
Mark, this has been brilliant, absolutely full of gold for people, especially around the learnings about the numbers. You're absolutely right; they're so important, and you can't ignore them. Ignore them at your peril, I think is the phrase. And this about team, bring your team with you. That delegation piece and development piece, and I love the fact that you allow them to challenge you, because that's probably the ultimate as a business owner leader is allowing your team to challenge your thinking, allowing you to challenge your philosophy. So I think there's a lot in there for people to take away from the Spotlight CD session we've had today. So brilliant. And finally, just thank you very, very much for your.
No, thank you.